Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all the members of our panel for being here today. Dr. Kelly, you are head of environmental analytics, is that right? At what's the name of your company?
Resilience.
Resilience, okay. You're a PhD?
That's correct.
Where'd you do your work?
At the University of Cambridge.
Okay. If you were king for a day, doctor, and you were not fettered or constrained by any political considerations, can you just list for me? I don't think we'll have time for you to explain each one at length, but list for me the 5 things you would do, king, to make America carbon neutral by 2050.
Thank you, Senator, for that question. The first and most important thing is to decarbonise the energy sector. So I would remove fossil fuels from the economy as fast as possible and transition to renewable energy. I would then require businesses to disclose their financial risks so that the community can understand, investors and shareholders can understand what those risks are and make better investment decisions. I would then work with the international community to make sure that the grid around the world is decarbonised. I would also work on agriculture, move to agriculture and other sectors to make sure that we can...
Well, that's not very specific. Let me try it again. Give me the 5 things. You're king now, but for one day. 5 new rules in the United States of America, so we'll be carbon-free by 2050.
I would put in a rule to make sure...
You'd get rid of oil and gas. That's the first one. That was the most specific.
Require companies to disclose climate-related risks.
Okay, that's 2.
I would invest in new technologies to decarbonise industrial processes to reduce emissions.
Okay, and what's 4?
Work with international communities to...
Work with the community, okay. Is there another one?
And to work with political leaders across...
Work with political leaders, yeah. You sound like a consultant. All right, let's take get rid of oil and gas. And what would you replace it with?
Renewable energy.
What kinds?
Wind and solar, presently the most cost-effective.
Nuclear?
I'm personally not in favour of nuclear.
You don't like nuclear. Okay. How much will it cost to...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down Washington's biggest debates in plain English. Today we've got an intense moment from a recent Senate hearing where a senator asked what should be a simple question: how much will it cost to go carbon neutral by 2050? But the answers, or lack of them, might shock you. Let's dive in. It all started with this question. The senator, clearly frustrated from previous hearings, asks one of the climate experts, "If you were king for a day, what 5 things would you do to get the U.S. to carbon neutrality by 2050? Dr. Kelly rattles off her priorities: decarbonizing energy, renewable investments, climate risk transparency. But the senator isn't satisfied. He wants...
How much will it cost and over what period of time do we have to get rid of all oil and gas and go to wind and solar?
So the good thing about wind and solar is that it's now more cost-effective than producing new...
Over what period of time would we have to make this transition?
Well, we need to do it before 2050 to get to the U.S.
If we do it for 2050, will we be... I'm trying to understand what it... Should I give up? Dr. Rose, can you give me, if you were king for a day, the 3 things you would do?
We'll start on something that you might find more attractive. I'd invest.
I'm not interested in attractive.
Right. No, I'd invest.
But I've been to so many of these hearings
Right.
where people come and talk about catastrophe, and you say, okay, what do we do about it? And you get nothing but nonsense.
Right.
So if you could give me, this is your chance, just 3 specific things, King,
All right.
that you would do.
So I would invest in carbon capture and storage. I don't think we need to get rid of all fossil fuels immediately.
That's one. Number 2.
Number two, I would pass a renewable portfolio standard for the U.S., which calls for a shift to renewables and electricity generation. So I recently completed a study
Okay,
where the...
don't have time.
All right.
What's number 3?
I would pass a cap and trade bill in the U.S. to find the least cost ways of dealing with climate change.
Tell me
and
how
reduce-
that would work.
You essentially place a cap on emissions, you give permits or allowances to entities, and you allow them to trade. That trading shifts the cost burden to the lowest cost entities. We found that that can save 70% of the potential costs of dealing with climate change as opposed to passing across the board.
You put a tax on carbon?
Well, it's different than a tax because you can freely grant these allowances and then it's trading. So it's not a tax. It's different than a tax.
All right, how much?
So what do you think? Are these experts dodging tough questions, or are the answers just that complicated? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you want more political deep dives like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay tuned.